Time for our country. The Twin Towers were destroyed, and nearly 3,000 people died. If this is what bin Laden thought would scar our minds, he was right. This is how it happened. At around 7:59 a.m., American Airlines Flight 11, a Boeing plane with around 70 people on board, takes off, heading to LA. At approximately 8:14 a.m., another flight took off from Boston, also heading to LA. At 8:24, a hijacker on one of the planes is contacted by ground control. At 8:40, the FAA alerts NORAD's Northeast Air Defense Sector about the plane. NORAD sends out 2 fighter jets to find Flight 11, but it hits the first tower before they get in the air. Around 8:46 a.m., Mohammed Atta and the rest of his hijackers on board crashed the plane into the North Tower. Within seconds, NYPD and FDNY troops were on the site, evacuating people from the tower. Soon after, at 8:50 a.m., the president at an elementary school is alerted that a plane hit the North Tower. At around 9:03 in the morning, hijackers crashed Flight 175 into the South Tower. At 9:08, the FAA bans all flights traveling close to, through, or to New York. At around 9:31 a.m. in the morning, George W. Bush speaks from Florida and says these attacks were an apparent attack on our country. Around 9:45 a.m., the White House and other secure sites were evacuated.
But the worst was about to come. At 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapses, and 19 minutes later, the North Tower collapses as well. At 11 a.m., the mayor of Manhattan, Rudolph Giuliani, calls for the evacuation of Lower Manhattan. At 1 p.m., a U.S. Air Force base in Louisiana tells the world that the military is on high alert worldwide. At 5:20 p.m., the towers have both collapsed and people are forced to run for their lives. At the end of the day, around 3,000 people have been killed, and at around 8:20 p.m., the president addresses the nation, calling the attacks evil, despicable acts of terror. After the attacks, the whole world was shocked and the city was in ruins. The phone lines were down, traffic was crazy, and people were doing everything they could to try to get in contact with or get home with their family. In the following days, rescue teams were searching the rubble of the buildings for survivors. Firefighters, police, and other kinds of law enforcement were called in, some were even from other states. It took 8 months to clear all of the rubble, and when it was finally all clear, the U.S. was more cautious than ever, and luckily we haven't had an event like that since.